Just because it's big words doesn't mean it's word salad. Maybe it just means we need a dictionary. Oh, Buck Angel. So, can you imagine if that's how I started this? Yeah, because there's no room for gender diversity in today's video. Sup dudes, welcome back to the channel. I'm David, you're watching Dismantling Hate, and today we are taking another look at Buck Angel, your favorite boy Buck.
But that was a choice.
We've looked at him one other time on the channel, I think, at least once. He is a former adult film star, a trans man, even though his Instagram says female living as a male. It's all very confusing, except it's actually not confusing at all. He's just transphobic and doing things for clicks. And the title of the video that we're going to be reacting to today is called My Pronouns Are Hee-Haw, Insane Woke TikToker. And the description reads, today I decided to react to this trans, non-binary, queer, gender, non-conforming activist, academic Alok. I have tried to hold off with my opinion on. Now, he says him many times. Alok goes by they, them, just like me, DT, David Day, that's me, it pays to advertise, they, them. Do you hear that? Anyway, not the point. Well, kind of is the point. Shut me up. I've tried to hold off with my opinion on them for a long time, but I feel like they are getting worse over time. See how easy that was to be inclusive? Anyway, their one big thing is to put down anyone who is not like them or does not subscribe to their queer theory, especially cis heteronormative people. One thing I've noticed about Buck Angel's content is that there's a lot of grammatical issues and not just, yeah, I'm really walking into that one with the they, them. No, but like we don't need capitals on cis and heteronormative. And also there's a space between the first quotation mark and the cis, but then not after the E on heteronormative. Maybe I'm just getting too picky because it's late. Okay, they wear a beard, a hairy chest, and look very masculine, but insist they are transgender, another male not transitioning, but expecting everyone to be blind to their scam. I don't know what the scam is. Scam? Is it a scam? Is being non-binary a scam? Because if so, consider yourself duped, bestie. So I'm gonna slide my bad self on over. We're gonna roll the intro and let's get started. And like, it is walking the line of like freedom of speech. You know what? If we're gonna be out here and we're gonna be vulnerable on this channel for together, you and me, right now, right here, yeah. We should really be talking about that because that's harmful. All right, I'm ready. Are you ready? It's okay if you're not. Take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay because we're gonna do it together. Roll the transphobia. Yeah, I thought it would be extra appropriate to be up here in drag, but if you want to see me paint this face, you can check out Dragmas Day 2, a series on my channel with the countdown to Christmas that has now officially concluded if you're watching this video. So if you want to see me paint this face and several many others, check out that playlist. Okay, let's go.
I'm Alok.
Oh, also, I love Alok. Alok is great. Anyway, I don't know if I said that, but obviously I'm a woke TikToker just like Alok, so just so we know where this is came.
Pronouns are he, he, ha, ha.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to talk about this person named Alok, pushing back on his...
You literally just had the clip in your own friggin' video that said Alok. Now why are we saying Alok? Are we doing it on purpose just to be dumb? I suppose we could say that about this man's whole internet presence, but whatever.
Because I find it quite hateful. I don't think he wants to build bridges, and he expects everybody to respect him.
God, all the he-hims are really gonna throw me for a loop. Also, I ironically love how this man just sits here the whole time like like a toddler communicating that they don't like vegetables or something silly like that. It's just, it kills me. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
But it is not in reverse. So I don't know what this person's pronouns are, and I'm just gonna say he because
it's really not that hard. It took me 8 seconds to confirm what I already knew because I do follow Alok on Instagram and I think they're pretty great, and I think they're pretty entertaining and doing some useful work out here in the world, but that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, it took me about 8 seconds to go confirm the pronouns for this person were they, them on their Instagram profile. And if you go to the lengths of effort to make a whole video about them, it's really not that hard. Anyway.
That's what I see there, and no disrespect, it's just basically what I visually see. So with that,
Yeah, I don't believe that. I think there is disrespect there. But then it brings up this whole conversation, right? Of like what you're visually able to understand from a person's presence is the only thing that determines pronouns or gender identity. Like, I understand what he's saying. You would look at this individual and maybe your first guess would be that they use he, him pronouns. But if that's not the case, is it really your place to like argue with them and be like, you have a beard, so you're a man? Like, sure, you can argue, but what is that going to get you? Like, what is that adding to the conversation other than you just being rude? You know, like, is that going to improve upon your life? I don't know. I don't think so.
So much for liking, subscribing. My channel is our channel, really. going. And this one's going to be a little funny because, you know, it gets a little bit heavy here sometimes. So let's have a little laugh at the expense of this person who wants to laugh at all of us. So, fair game. That's what happens when you open that door, my friend.
Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. If I woke up one morning and saw my beef jerky face on Buck Angel's channel. Oh, God. You know what? I've been through enough therapy, girl. I can handle it. Let's do it. Come on. I would have officially made it if that's the case, but no. What a girl can dream. Sorry, a man can dream. Right, because I have a beard. That's all it takes.
I think this one says a lot about this person.
I'm Alok, and my preferred pronouns are he, he, ha, ha. Some of my best friends identify as members of the cisgender and heterosexual community. And I know that you guys are going through a lot right now.
Wow.
That's why every morning during my sun salutation, I take a 15-second breath to acknowledge how difficult it must be for straight people to remember how to use they, them pronouns.
Wow.
Why is that upsetting to this man? Have I just drank too much Coca-Cola? Because that's actually funny to me. I don't know. Is it funny to you? Let me know in the comments.
Don't laugh.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest issues facing their community. I mean, his and her community.
So, right there, great example. I'm glad I started with that one. This person has zero respect for anyone else. When you want to build a bridge and you want your pronouns respected, you also have to respect other people's choices. So he came right out the gate with making fun of his own pronouns, which, you know, if we did that, we'd be slaughtered, okay? So remember, Aluk's pronouns are he, ha. Don't forget it. So you can call Alok he, ha. Now, that being said, he went straight after the cis heterosexual community, which I'm going to show you in most of these videos. He's constantly going after cisgender, straight people. It's actually, it's not shocking to me. It's pathetic. He's so adamant. He's in this also really projecting this very victimizing, oh, my whole life has been so horrible. First off, I don't know why he claims to be trans. I don't see hormonal usage.
Yeah, I forgot how awful this man is. Yeah, because of course I'm going to use he, him pronouns for Buck because that's what he wants. It's really not hard to extend that respect for somebody based off of the pronouns that they want. I'm not going to say she, her because he's a trans man. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't bring me any joy to refer to somebody based off of the pronouns that they don't want, you know? I mean, look, this is episode, 70 or something of Dismantling Hate, and it never ceases to amaze me. And I'm always left wondering whether these people actually have such low critical thinking skills and discernment, or rather they are being outrageous and I want to say like fallacious for clicks. Because it's just like, this man, to me, in my humble opinion, is exhibiting right now a literal elementary level of critical thinking skills. The he-ha pronoun joke was that literal? No, that was comedy. And the reason that was comedy, I can't believe we have to go ahead and define comedy, but the reason that was funny, in my opinion, is that Alok is out here talking about pronoun use all the time. And people like Buck Angel can be really shitty towards people who use they, them pronouns, right? And he also thinks that being trans is mutually exclusive with that of using hormones, which is not the case. You can be trans and look any way that you want. And I'm really not sure what these folks get out of being exclusionary to trans folks who don't look a certain way, or rather don't pass in a certain way. Like, you don't have to look like society's idealization of a woman in order to use she, her pronouns. I don't know. Actually, I do know. It's really interesting to me. Like, what is Buck Angel getting out of this? What is he getting out of this? Let me know in the comments. Like, what do you think his motivation is here? Because it's not coming across in his words to me and what I've seen of him so far.
Trying to transition to look like a woman. I don't see any of that. That's not trans. Non-binary, genderqueer, all of that. But when you lump in trans, I'm going to push against you, buddy, because no, you're not. You are gender non-conforming, non-binary, queer, whatever else you guys say you are. So just that, first off, really upsets me, because he just went after the whole basic world.
God. It's an interesting conversation, though, because me as a non-binary person, I do struggle personally to put myself within the category of being trans. I do understand how somebody could think of me as a trans person and not as a trans person. I'm really not fussed either way. I don't really think of myself either in or out of that label, because I think the whole point for me personally being non-binary is to give the big FU to labels. So I don't need that label in order to feel comfortable in my gender identity. But I do know that a lot of people do need that label in order to be comfortable, and I can respect that and the boundaries that they put in place in order to feel comfortable. It's not hard for me to do that. Yeah. Huh.
Made himself feel as if he's so special, and making fun of you wanting to be a he, him, or she, her, and then your pronouns are funny, but his pronouns are not. It's just pathetic, and it's getting to be quite old, if you ask me. Okay, let's check out this second one.
There are over 500 pieces of legislation trying to prevent cis people from confronting themselves. They're fighting for the constitutional right to not have to look at us.
That's not
so that they don't have to look at themselves.
Like, I get it. I'm a very demonstrative human being myself. Like, I do a lot of physical things, but his head waving like that, just, it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. I don't know if he's feigning outrage or this is real. I hope it's not real. I hope he's just being weird to be weird. And hey, I get it. I've been weird to be weird. What are we watching?
James Baldwin taught us a long time ago that people go through great lengths to avoid an honest mirror. And what trans people have become to the society is an honest mirror. The question that I have for the world is, what are you so afraid of in yourself? And why are you taking that out on us? What has...
You know, that's what he keeps saying. Why is he speaking for me? I don't feel that way. I don't feel like you fear me in any way. I've been doing this for 32 years, buddy. And everything was going actually amazing before you decided to take this platform and your word salad almost every video.
It's interesting that it's like, yeah, everything was going fine until you got like, no, it's not Alok. Like, I recognize that he was being hyperbolic there, but it's not Alok. It's not gender nonconforming people that ruined. It's not something that has been ruined. So Buck has been presenting as a man and has been trans for 30 years. There must have been an amount of time while he was transitioning that he did not pass as a man. All of the societal context that went along with that in the time period of him transitioning was very different to now. I don't really know. I'm not that old, so I can't speak to the contextual differences, but it's not the same as it is now. I don't know if it was better or worse, easier or harder, but it was different. It's totally different experiences, and I don't have either of them, so let's keep going.
I found of you was blah, 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 because you're an academic and you have to use all these words and you move words around so you sound like you're really super intelligent. Well, not to me, you don't. You just sound like you're moving words around. And to make it seem like you're more intelligent than everybody else and then everybody's just...
So I looked it up. Alok has a Bachelor of Arts and a Master's of Arts, both from Stanford University. Wow. Okay, now let's look at what Buck Angel has. Yeah, so everything that I'm seeing here, it doesn't look like Buck Angel has any formal education. It looks like most of his experience is in the adult film industry. So while formalized education definitely isn't a true measure of intelligence in all cases, you can't tell me that that's the same thing, because it's not, right? Somebody who has a master's degree in anything is quite educated. So whether you like it or not, Alok is very educated and has put in, what is that, 4 or 5, at least 6 years of post-secondary education at Stanford. Quite an accredited school. So he's not feigning intelligence.
Like, wow.
He's not feigning intelligence.
Wow. No, dude, you're wrong. First off, there's not 500 bills. You're wrong. Secondly, the bills are being passed to save children from the likes of people like you.
No, and that's the disgusting part in all of this, is because might Alok be a danger to children? I don't know. I actually don't know. But the problem here is that we're aligning all gender nonconforming people. I don't know. All people that use they, them pronouns. I don't know. It's just without you actually knowing or having any proof of somebody being a danger to children, you just sweeping them under the umbrella of they're a danger to children just because they use they, them pronouns or because they're gender nonconforming. I don't know if that's criminal, actually. It just doesn't make sense. It just shows a lack of critical thinking. And maybe, hey, if you had some formal education, you might know that. Ooh, girl, I said it.
Okay, so stop making this up, because when you lie and you get caught in your lies, then people don't believe us anymore and people don't think we exist. So first off, stop.
So now it's us? I thought it wasn't us. The logic isn't logicking, but we knew that.
Speaking for the trans community, okay? That's why I tell you I'm a transsexual. I'm not part of that stuff. And secondly, you always talk about everyone else being fearful of you. Well, I'm a little fearful of you, buddy. So does that make me transphobic? And this idea that the world is fearful of us. Want to know how you make the world less fearful of us? By building bridges and coming to them with your hand out and saying, how can we coexist?
Is this giving you building bridges handout right now? He's building bridges. I suppose it is actually for the cis people who are discriminatory or maybe have just such a limited idealization of what gender is and what it looks like. Like he's reaching out and building bridges with cis people, perhaps if they share his ideology, and maybe building bridge with folks like Blair White, another trans grifter. But this is embarrassing. Honestly, I really hate this.
Never agree with me. I've done it. I live it. Every day I live it. You want to push against the world, and you want people to be angry at you, and you want to be a little victim. It is so obvious in everything you're going to say here. Everything.
Trans and gender nonconforming people are saying, hey, everyone, I want to be able to exist. I want to be able to walk outside without being spat on. I want to be able to live and not fear dying. I want to be able to wear what I'm wearing and not be called brave. I want to be able to actually have people regard my humanity, not some one-dimensional trope that they're getting from these racist and transphobic algorithms. And people are saying that's a threat. Darling, the threat is a system that has made you mistake your latent disassociation as a personality. That's the threat.
See, there he is again with his word salad. What?
Is he just saying that big words are word salad? Saying your latent disassociation as a personality. That makes sense to me. Does that make sense to you? Just because it's big words doesn't mean it's word salad. Maybe it just means we need a dictionary. Oh, Buck Angel.
What are you talking about? I don't feel unsafe. Okay?
Because you conform to gender. That's probably why you feel safe. How do we not see that? What?
Making an effort to feel unsafe. Now, I'm not saying the way you dress and all that. That's totally why we live in a country. I bet if you went to India and dressed like that, I'm not really sure what would happen, or go to Southeast Asia, it might be a little bit of a problem. We live in a country here where we're allowed to dress as we please. People aren't always going to like it. People are always going to say things. I don't know where you're coming from, but people aren't always going to like the way you look and the way you dress and how you talk and how you walk.
They don't have to. Oh, what an unfortunate freeze frame. Yeah, they don't have to like it, but they do have to respect you, and you do have the right to exist without being accosted in that way, like he was saying, being spit on. I've never been spat on. Actually, that's false, but probably not for Jesus. Anyway, like I've been yelled at from moving cars. I've been called a faggot by many people who don't know me, and I'm just walking down the street. Like, it happens, and we deserve to live in a world and to be served by a system that doesn't promote that. And Buck Angel is part of a community that promotes that. It's really sad. It's really sad. Yeah. Get one more look at this freeze frame. Okay? Got it? Okay, we're moving on.
It's like you think that people just have to bend over backwards to make you feel comfortable, okay? It's about time.
Is it really bending over backwards just to show basic human respect and dignity for somebody? No, it's not. And if you think that, I don't know what the end of that sentence is, but if you think that, you're a disgrace, you're discriminatory, you're not a good person, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense, right? It's not bending over backwards to be kind.
Start taking responsibility for yourself. And here's the other thing. I think we should have diverse voices in our community. You are more than welcome to say what you need to say, but you don't speak for the community. These are all your own opinions.
Okay.
I am an actual elder of this community, and I have built bridges, and I have moved forward in my life, and I do get along with the rest of the world, okay? And I'm not like the perfect person, and people don't.
It's interesting how he's like, oh, but you can't speak for all of us, but I can because I'm an elder. Is that how he's framing this? Or rather that he gets along with the straight community because he passes, or that he gets along with the cis community because he passes? It just doesn't make sense. I don't get this man. I mean, I do, because we have the emotional depth of a teaspoon, but just Buck Angel, what are you doing?
My tattoos are my choices that I have made in my life, but I don't really care. I'm not blaming them for that. I mean,
yeah, all of the problems with Buck Angel are so topical as to be reduced to tattoos.
Choices. You make your own choices. That's what you should be teaching the generation of millions of kids who follow you and think you're like a god or a goddess. You should be teaching them.
Oh, come on, gender inclusivity. It's interesting how he's saying, like, you need to be held responsible for your actions. So if I right now went outside and was assaulted by somebody, perceivably because I look gender nonconforming or because I'm in drag right now, does that then become my responsibility because I went out like this? It seems very victim blamey. Who does that help? Who does that help? That latent disassociation. Come on, word salad.
Taking responsibility for your own self before you are worried about what other people think about you. You're constantly talking about how bad cisgender people are. By the way, buddy, people don't like to be called cisgender, but do you seem to respect that? No, you do not. But there you go with your hypocrisy. You expect everyone.
Do people not like to be called cisgender? I think it's right-wing snowflakes like him that don't like to be called cisgender. If you're a cisgender person, will you tell me right now in the comments, do you like being called cis? Do you think it's a slur? Or are you like, yeah, it's a word. It's a Latin prefix that means on the same side of. It's really not that deep because you understand how language works.
To get on board with your way of life. It's just mind-blowing to me.
The way that we have come to see ourselves is through the anxieties and insecurities of a straight cis society. Through people-pleasing,
wow,
fawning, self-deprecating, self-deleting, self-betraying, groveling, minimizing, and these behaviors have become so learned, so precise by us, that they've come to resemble our very personalities. I think about this when so many cis gay men tell me that I'm an embarrassment to this community, that people like me are just taking it too far, just looking ridiculous, seeking attention. I see them in me. I see them in my own doubts and fears. That fear that runs on loop in my mind that no matter what I say, you won't listen to me because of what I look like to you. Too colorful, too flamboyant to be taken seriously. That my silly and very pretty words will not be enough to rewrite the faith that you have in farce and the doubt that you have in dreaming.
Oh my God, dude.
That was the most enjoyment I've had in this whole video. That was really well done. And Alok is a poet with a master's degree. Like, it's not word salad. It's not feigning intelligence. Alok is good with words. And maybe that's bringing out an insecurity in Buck because he stands there and has to go, no, you're wrong. Anyway.
What? First off, right out the gate, the cis straight people, and then the cis gay men who say, please stop representing us. You're making a fool out of yourself. But you can't hear any criticism. That's what it is.
But what is the criticism about? Is the criticism about being non-conforming to societal ideals of gender? Is that what the criticism is about? Because I'm sure if you sat down with Alok and said like something reasonable, they would listen to it. I don't know. It's just, there's something missing.
Figured it out. You don't like criticism. You don't like people to tell you, maybe slow down a little bit, buddy. Maybe speak for yourself, my friend. Maybe understand when you take this path that other people are going to think X, Y, and Z.
But did you glean from Alok talking that they were speaking for everybody? I don't know if I did. Maybe I missed it.
That's what it is. You want the whole world to accept you. Yet you are not in any way, shape, or form willing to accept the world. So I want to say this to you, Alok. I have no hate towards you in any way, shape, or form. Honestly, that's not where I'm coming from here, okay? I'm sure one of your people are going to show you this, probably. No hate. What it is saying, look, take some responsibility for yourself. If you're so into meditation and understanding and you're so spiritual and you're just this guru of a person, why are you not looking inside yourself and understanding why you have self-hate or self-deprecation or whatever else you're calling it, and figure out why it's coming and stop blaming it on everybody else? That's the first number one thing to learn when you want to move forward, not only in your life, in your transition and becoming your authentic self. It's all taking responsibility for you and stop pushing it on everybody else.
I think there is something to be said, and I can't really speak for this from Alok's side, but I can speak for it from me, is that because of the experiences that I've had and because of the stories that I've seen and things like that, is sometimes I do project a negative experience onto other people around my queerness and my gender nonconformity in places where that isn't necessarily appropriate. You know what I mean? Like this self-fulfilling prophecy. If I think, oh, people are going to be mean to me here because I'm wearing a wig and makeup, then I perceive things differently than I would have if I went in with a better mindset. And I think that's a valid point, because I think that does happen. But I think that might be about 10% of the equation. The rest of it, in fact, is the cis straight white folks. And not just them. Obviously, the call can come from inside the house as well.
So with that, my friends, I'm going to leave you with this. You know, I am kind of fed up with all of these sort of celebrity, like, influencers. They have a lot of power. It's all good. What's not good is the messages I find them all to be bringing. One day, all of these people will be gone, okay? And there won't be any more of them. And there'll be a lot of mess to clean up. And I foresee...
One day, all of these people will be gone? What the hell does that mean? Like naturally, like death? Like just natural death in the passage of time? Or something nefarious? That's weird what he just said. What does that mean?
That mess. And it's why I step in and I say these things. Because I, as a person who have transitioned, and it's helped me tremendously become not only a better human being, but to actually love myself. And those words are very powerful to say when you love yourself. And I...
Like, okay, why can't Alok love themselves just the way that they are as well? Like, do you have to conform into the gender binary in order to truly love yourself? That's what he's saying here. That just doesn't make any sense. Ugh.
I care about myself, I care about you, and I care about the...
You don't care about Alok. You don't. You don't care about anybody who doesn't conform to a gender. You don't care about anybody who doesn't conform to the gender binary. You've made that abundantly clear.
Future of all of us, not just some of us. Thanks so much for watching, friends. It means a lot to me. You know, like, subscribe, get
No, we won't be doing any of that. Okay, good God. Anyway, babies, thanks for getting to the end of this video. In conclusion, Buck Angel is a mess. He's a transphobic garbage person. No, I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, or I don't know if he just doesn't have the education and understanding of a diverse gender expression. It's always fascinating to find transphobic trans people, but of course it can happen. And unfortunately, sometimes they gain platforms like this. So that's really all I have to offer on this one. I'm gonna go take this wig off and go straight to bed. It's been a long filming day, but I thank you for getting to the end of this video, because if you made it to the end, this probably means a lot to you. And I appreciate that, because it means a lot to me too. If you want to spend more time with me, you can listen to my podcast called D-Talk with David Day. You can watch on YouTube or listen on Spotify. Watch my Does Size Matter travel vlog here on YouTube. Watch me paint this face on Dragmas here on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe to the channel. It's so long. Oh my God, I'm so tired. Yeah, like the video if you like the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you love Buck Angel? Do you hate him? I'd really love to know. Thanks for joining me. This was Dismantling Hate. I'm David Day. They, them, pronouns, non-binary, word salad. See you next time. Bye.
Open the door.
And like it is walking the line of like freedom of speech. You know what? If we're gonna be out here and we're gonna be vulnerable on this channel here together, you and me, right now, right here, yeah. We should really be talking about that, because that's harmful. All right, I'm ready. Are you ready? It's okay if you're not. We'll take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay, because we're gonna do it together. Roll the transphobia.